Hi, welcome to taking a closer look at one of the flutes from my collection. Flute we're going to look at today, when I first saw pictures of this flute, which I will include in the video, they'll kind of fade in and out, I was in awe of the wood grains, the character in the wood of this flute. Plus, it was one of my favorite keys. It happens to be a B flat or an A sharp, depending on how you look at that. It is made from Eastern Red Aromatic Cedar. The maker is George Dyson Jr., and he goes by George Flutes. I kind of like that name. It's fun. When I saw it, I immediately sent him a message. He was concerned about this had some inclusions or cracks or voids, whatever you want to talk about, in where there were like knot type areas and things where the grain was just all twisting around. And he wasn't sure how that was going to hold up. He had filled them with some turquoise inlay. Beautifully done, and it's held up very well. I got this flute back in 2016. I think it was about March, if I remember correctly. So Eastern Red Aromatic Cedar for the flute body. It has Osage Orange for the mouthpiece and the low profile fetish block. He uses on his wooden flutes, because he also makes bamboo flutes or river cane. On his wooden flutes, at least before, I'm not sure about right now, he might be making some changes, but he used a two-piece design. So two pieces of wood. It looks to be one piece of wood that was sliced down the middle, opened up, routed, and then glued back together so that the grain pattern does a great job of lining back up. That's the same way I do many of my flutes. Has this particular flute has kind of very nicely tapered mouthpiece. The mouthpiece breath hole is slightly off center, but that's okay. It plays just fine. A beautiful turquoise inlay ring. The mouthpiece is tenoned into the flute body, and then it's got a beautiful turquoise inlay band there that's, oh, maybe 3/16 of an inch wide. Beautifully done. The flue is in the flute body, and the block has a very small chimney, and it starts at nothing and kind of flows down on the wings. Very short wings, but they do barely go the length of the true sound hole, which measures 3/8 of an inch wide, 3/16 of an inch long. So a fairly short true sound hole there, which I like. And the finger holes are a little bit on the small side, but not really when you consider that it's only a 3/4 inch bore. You know, reach-wise, it's just, you know, being a smaller flute, it's just a very comfortable reach. They are not equal distant. They are not spaced exactly the same, but I think that is to help keep them closer to the same diameter. Many flute makers use this type of a finger hole spacing to keep the holes more consistently the same diameter throughout the range. So just love all the little nuances in the grain. It does have tuning holes for direction, or tuning holes down here. And here's the voice. struggles getting that very highest note. I can't always get it. I love the voice of the flute. It does struggle with that highest note, which unfortunately I tend to use a lot in my playing. But besides that one note that it doesn't hit, I love the flute. He does kind of an engraving deal on the bottom of the flute with the information, and I'm not sure exactly what all of this means. I think the 16 means that it was made in 2016. 003, I'm not sure what that means. B flat is naturally the key of the flute. But he makes a beautiful sounding flute, just gorgeous. He is based out of Gulfport, Mississippi. And many people, I think, have found out about him. I learned about him a little bit before I saw pictures of this flute, but when I saw this, I knew I had to own this flute. And love the voice, love the voice. If you get a chance, I know he's gone through stages of not being able to make flutes because he, like many of us, has to have a regular job, and flute making is a hobby that also becomes a business, but it doesn't make enough money to live on in most cases for most flute makers. At the time that I got this, his flutes were extremely affordable. I hope he has raised his price a little bit, or at least a little bit. Beautiful sounding flutes, and very happy that I had made this purchase. So I hope you enjoyed this full review of the flute. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of this by George Flute, a B flat, an Eastern Red Aromatic Cedar. What do you think of the voice? And what do you think of the close-up pictures that I had taken on this? I'll show some pictures also that were original. The finish that he was using, at least back then, tends to allow the wood to darken quite a bit over time. It changed dramatically from when I first got it to what you see now. And that's only been 4 years. Well, not quite 4 years. But it's changed drastically in looks. And I have a couple other flutes that have done that also. So hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell so that you know when I post a new video, whether it be a flute review or a music video, comparison of flutes, different flute makers in the same key or different woods in that key, and what that does to the sound and tonality of the flute. It could be some instructional videos that I put out, and I put out a couple of videos on some kind of technical maintenance that could be done on some flutes. I also made one that has been pretty popular called the windshield, and how you can make your own little windscreen. So don't forget to subscribe, like the video, leave comments down there. What did you think of this flute? Are there flutes in my collection that you know of that you would like to see in the next review? Let me know that. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.